All right. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. My computer is acting up. It says we are live. So I'm just going to give it a minute to kind of load back up um, as the screen just kind of froze for a second. There we go. Okay. All right. So I went to a basketball game today. First time seeing in action. Not my first time there, though, because it was at Wallace State. But I got to see the Cullman Bearcats in action. They looked okay. I think it's one of those where it looks worse on paper in terms of the score. And I think they played better than the score indicates. I, I think you can tell they definitely made an effort. The banner, Coleman Bearcats basketball fall 64-44 against Buckhorn, the Buckhorn Bucks in the Sweet 16 regional. Um, According to AL.com, Northwest Regional boys, Buckhorn upsets defending Class 6A champion Coleman. This was just put out a few moments ago by Evan Dudley of AL.com. So we're going to read some of that. And then also going to read what Mr. Winfrey has put out too. Northwest Regional Tournament 6A boys. Number 8 Cullman falls to number 4 Buckhorn 64-44. So, and again, this game at Tom Drake Coliseum in Hanceville, Alabama, at Wallace State, where I go to school. So, before we get into reading some of this, my thoughts on this game, just from what I was able to see, and I don't have 100% like the rosters memorized. I mean, I got something here. High schooler, I don't know. I won't give out. Well, I mean, I guess they're already in the articles anyway. So I mean, the names are out there. But Buckhorn, who finished 24-7, won the game 64-44 over the defending Class 6A champion, 8th ranked Cullman today in Friday's Northwest Regional semifinal at Wallace State's Tom Drake Coliseum. I'm reading this from AL.com, by the way. The Bucks advanced regional finals for the first time since the 2006 season. The last time they appeared in the state tournament after winning titles in 1991 and 1995. So they have some history. The Buckhorn Bucks do, but it's not very recent. But that's okay. It matters what you do today. It matters what you do this year. And they're on their way to the next round. The Buckhorn coach, I'm quoting from AL.com here, said, "I'm really proud of our group. This is a good win for our program, if for no other reason that we haven't been here in a while." He also went on to say, "When you're playing the defending state champs who are from this area and used to this gym and facility, I had worries about that. I knew our guys would be a little excitable early, but they came out and played wonderfully and competed the whole time." So, and again, I want to get involved. I do so much, privately, technically, if you think about it. I don't, when I put stuff up about Wallace State, I do it on my own. I'm not reporting to the school. I'm not doing anything like that. But I would like to get involved with maybe even Cullman High School athletics a little bit too. I think that would be something. So let's start here. 64-44 against Buckhorn in the Sweet 16. And what's up, Cody? Good to see you. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Be sure to leave a reaction on Facebook. Go over to YouTube, hit the thumbs up. Really would appreciate it. I love all of you guys. So again, Cullman falls as the number 8 seed by 20 points. And the Bucks actually started fast. Let me read a little bit from Mr. Winfrey's article at the Cullman Times. The number 4 Bucks, 20-7, started fast inside Wallace State's Tom Drake Coliseum, seizing a 19-8 advantage at the 6:19 mark of the second quarter. The 8th-ranked Bearcats, though, responded with a 10-0 run. Tucker Cagle, Jake Dorough tally 5 points apiece to pull within 1 before Buckhorn closed out the first half with a small spurt to notch a 26-21 lead heading into the break. So 26-21 at halftime. Garrison Sharp as Cullman led at the half by 5. Sharp for Buckhorn for the Bucks had a 3-pointer to make it 26-24, but the Bucks didn't allow the black and gold to build any momentum after that, outscoring them 22-7 in the rest of the period. So the third quarter, they outscored 22-7, outscored Cullman, and they added 2 3-pointers in the last 20 seconds. Entering the fourth quarter, it was 48-31. 48-31 Buckhorn, which, so, and the Bucks winning this game, by the way, too, 64-44. They do advance. They will face number 1 Pinson Valley in the championship game on Wednesday. That's at 10:45 a.m. Central Time. So the Bearcats lose 5 seniors, but will work to follow up a successful season. They won 26 games, just 6 losses. The Area 14 title en route to advancing to the regional stage for the second consecutive year. You look at this game, Cullman, their top scorers, Cagle had 11 points. Sharp had 9. Or actually, I think I'm sorry. That must be their jersey numbers. I'm probably just reading that wrong, and I apologize. But yeah, Tucker Cagle, Garrison Sharp, Sam Duskin, Jake Dorough. You had for Buckhorn, Jeremiah Wilson, Terrence Robinson, Caleb Holt, and Carter Miles, or the Liars. I don't know how you pronounce that. And that goes on in the article to talk about what the coaches had to say. Buckhorn, 24-7, finished the contest shooting. I'm reading now from AL.com. There we go. Okay. Buckhorn finished the contest shooting 51.9, counted to 52% from the field. They were 8 for 18 on their threes. They forced 12 turnovers. The lead scorer, Holt, had 12 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, followed by Robinson with 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and then Malines had 11 points. Childress added 8 points with 2 balls. And the Bucks had got out to a 14-6 lead. So they were already up 8 points at the end of the first. I think the fast start for Buckhorn for the Bucks, I think that definitely helped. When you get a fast start in basketball, when you get a fast start in any sport, but especially one like basketball where the points only are worth so little, 2 or 3. It's not like you could shoot from half court and make 6. It's still going to count for 3. But when you get off to a fast start, that gives you such an advantage in the game. And that's what happened with Buckhorn is they jumped out to a 14-6 lead. And then they outscored the Bearcats 22-10 in the third period, taking control with 4 made 3-point baskets. Cullman had 2 3-pointers to begin the final quarter, but it still wasn't enough. They had 35 shooting percentage. Cullman did so. 25% of that was beyond the 3-point arc. So yeah. So I just figured I'd come on here for a little bit and talk about the game that I saw today at Tom Drake Coliseum at Wallace State. Give me a second. If you guys can still hear me, my computer's messing up a little. Okay. I'm not sure if you missed any of that. But again, I mean, this is where the season ends for the Bearcats. They fall 64-44 to Buckhorn. Great effort, it looked like. It's not like Wallace, where Wallace, because if you guys have followed what I've talked about with Wallace, I remember the first men's basketball game I went to. I think it was 84-48 against someone like Calhoun or Sheldon State. I don't remember who they played, but Wallace at Tom Drake can put up 70 to 80 points a game. Honestly, to have 64 points, almost 65 for a high school, I think is actually pretty good. Buckhorn has a lot of great talent. Cullman does too. They just came up a little short today, but hopefully next season for basketball, I at least want to start going to some games, even some home games at Cullman. I think would be great. Just get involved and expand my horizon, outside of Wallace State and outside of just college football. Because you got to start somewhere. And, even though I want to be a sports journalist and primarily for college football, you can't start there. You got to start somewhere. And I think high school athletics, I think, is normally where to go. Something like that, or middle school, or the smaller smaller leagues. So, but anyway, I think that's going to do it for today's show. Again, if you're watching this back, I appreciate it. If you didn't catch it live, that's okay. But again, Cullman falling 64-44 in the Sweet 16 regional against Buckhorn. And we'll see what they can do next season, hopefully. Maybe I'll get involved and maybe go to some actual games at Cullman. And yeah, we will see what happens, but we're going to get some more Wallace State stuff. I think homecoming's around the corner. Still plenty of basketball games there. Baseball's just getting started. Softball's getting started too at Wallace State. So keep an eye out for some great coverage on that. We're going to definitely try. I'm going to promise to try to get some stuff for you guys like that. And yeah, just stay tuned right here to Ballard Sports Media. And until next time, folks, Ballard Sports Media is checking out. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks.